didn't know I met you. And you saw me, but I didn't know you saw me. I'm overwhelmed, I never pictured this would happen, never. The stuff of fairy tales and happy ever afters. And when it comes, it feels so alien and new. I'm half in love and half disoriented by all of you. You took me off guard, you flipped me around. I'm floating in love, asking you for stable ground. I hear you speak, even when you don't make a sound. You're close to me, even when you're not around. You've got a room in my heart, that's where I think of you. The room, it glows with woods and rose, and the sunbeam throws the rays, and the shadows play. You took me off guard, you flipped me around. I'm floating in love, you can be my stable ground. So hold me close, there's no room for fear. I am safe whenever you're near. I hear you speak, even when you don't make a sound. You're close to me, even when you're not around. You took a leap, took a risk on me. Love is around, you set me free, and in you I see. Love is around, the mirrored heart, the counterpart. Love is around, I feel our voice and fears destroyed. Love is around, is around, is around, is around. Love is around, is around, is around, is around. I met you when I didn't know. I met you. You saw me when I didn't know. You saw me.
Good afternoon, my friends on the East Coast, and good morning to our friends on the West, and good in-between time to all our friends in between. Welcome to a very, very special episode. For those of you in my generation, you know what that means, of the Bayard Rustin Center for Social Justice Power Hour, where we will indeed be previewing Bayard the Musical, which will be premiering on Wednesday, July 8th, at 8 p.m. right after the Power Hour. You can tune right into that. It's going to be glorious, as you just saw from that song that we world premiered at Virtual Pride, and we are honored to do so. We're also honored to partner with Allen and Gray to present this wonderful, wonderful experience, which benefits not only Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, but also Broadway for Racial Justice. So we're thrilled about this partnership and this experience that we are having this Sunday afternoon together. So we appreciate all you folks, and there are a whole bunch of you tuning in on a Sunday afternoon. So we appreciate you giving up some of your 4th of July weekend. What's more American than musical theater? So if Broadway's dark, we're going to bring the light. But of course, if I have a captive audience, I'm going to tell you about some things that are coming up on the Power Hour, which runs every night, every weeknight, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And coming up on the Power Hour, we have some really wonderful folks. We have Geneset Gutierrez from the Trans Liberation Queer Movement, La Familia. We have Isaac Oliver. We have Dee Smith, Grammy-winning artist, transgender musician, talking about her journey. We have Amari joining us, Amari Jones, who just was her ad for Trans/Media, her transgender company, was excised from the BET Awards. So make sure you join us for a conversation about how we make sure all our voices are represented in all our communities. We also have Hugh Ryan coming in from When Brooklyn Was Queer. His book's coming out in paperback. We're thrilled about that. And Gabby Dunn is going to join us from Bad with Money podcast. And finally, Steve Brodner, wonderful illustrator, very politically motivated, very strong voice in our community as well. So all those folks will be with us coming up in the Power Hour. So join us every weeknight from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And speaking of Pacific Time, we have two wonderful folks joining us. One of them is on Pacific Time. We have Lonnie and Ryan, the co-directors of the show. Thank you both for joining us today. We really, really appreciate your time. We seem to have lost Lonnie in transition, so I'm going to try again one more time. There you go. No, now, yes, there's Lonnie. Woo! No, now he's gone. All right, Ryan, you and I are going to talk for a minute. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for allowing us to be of service to your wonderful show. Why don't we just start right off? What inspired you to write, to be involved with this show, to direct this show?
Well, it's a year ago, and I was invited to a concert at 54 Below here in New York. And a good friend of mine was the musical director, and he said, I think you really should come check out this writing team, Richard Allen and Taryn Gray. He said, I think there's something really special about it. I had no idea what I was going into. And the minute the show started, I was hooked. I was hooked on the story. We didn't see the full show. We saw 75 minutes of music and a little bit of explanation about what the story was. I just felt like, you know what, there's a gem in this, the story behind it. So it really got me like thinking and researching and learning about who Bayard was. And I just thought, you know what, this story has to be told, And I think, with Richard and Taryn's writing skills, they've done a really good story and iteration of this man who really was the backbone that a lot of people have no idea who he really was and what he did for the movement, in 1963. And I think it's, time. Who would have even predicted what we're going to be in right now? The timing couldn't be better to talk about his political and his personal life, because those are the two groups that are coming together, and what we're seeing, band together to just really say, we got to fight for our rights, So now's the time to know who Bayard is. Yeah,
and I couldn't agree with you more. Obviously, we are thrilled that we bear his name at the center, and that his partner, Walter Nagel, is a community liaison of ours, and we're so honored by that connection. We have talked a lot about this moment on the Power Hour. It's been a constant source of conversation here. The fact that, Bayard was the godfather of intersectionality some 30, 40 years before Kimberly Crenshaw even coined the term.
Right.
And what's amazing about this moment that's becoming a movement, for the first time, I think, almost ever, we have the real opportunity for something to become a movement and move forward in a meaningful way. And I know that Bayard would have been really, really thrilled about the work that's being done, because we have not only the idea of Black Lives Matter finally being taken seriously as not just a saying or a slogan, but companies coming forth like FedEx saying to the Washington Redskins, hey, you know what, this name was never cool, and it's certainly not cool now. What are we going to do about it? And that wouldn't have happened if people weren't putting the pressure on. So musicals like this, entertainment like this is really meaningful because it allows people to connect to it in an emotional and a resonant way.
Well, it's another chance to use our voice to tell a story, you know, and a collective group come together and really stand behind this story to really say what it means, right? And Lonnie and I coming together, when Lonnie got brought onto the project with me, we coined a phrase, and I want Lonnie to say it because I think it's so brilliant of what we're doing with this story about Bayard.
And I'm fearful, Lonnie, are you with us, or are we just seeing you as a specter? Yeah, see,
Yeah,
Lonnie,
okay.
Lonnie's mojo isn't working hard enough to get him all the way out here from the West Coast. So we're going to keep trying, Lonnie. We're going to keep trying to get you with us, okay?
So, you know, the phrase that we coined for this show was that we want to ink Bayard back into history. And that's our whole point of, you know, the root of telling this story, because it's one of those things where, you know, it's a love story. People are like, yes, it's political, but it's a love story of humanity. And, you know, we really showed the political side, the love that he had. He was a natural born leader, but he was also a human who had feelings and, you know, went through a lot of emotions and that sort of thing. And so we dive into both sides of that. And I think it's really exciting to kind of get all of that in a hodgepodge, you know, and we have such an incredible cast. Deon'te, who plays Bayard in our virtual presentation of it, I saw him do it at 54 Below and instantly fell in love with him. He embodies him. He has the sensitivity, but he also has the strength that comes with it. You know, and then we also have Jennifer Leigh Warren, Broadway vet, who came in and graced us with her talents, playing Julia, Bayard's grandmother, who raised him. And there's, you know, some really special moments that we see of that relationship and how his upbringing plays a huge part in the man he became. So,
yeah, and all of that. So I do, you know, one of my things that I do on the Power Hour all the time is I just start talking to people because I'm so excited to have the conversation. So let's backtrack. First of all, we started the hour with a number from the show that you guys gave to us as a world premiere for our virtual Pride. We couldn't have been more thrilled about that. We'll show that again at about the halfway mark. If any of you missed it, or if you saw it, you're going to want to see it again. And then we're going to bring on in just a few minutes. We have Deon'te, and we have Jennifer, and we have Patrick Ortiz with us. And by the way, for your, and I believe this is the right hashtag, your Hamill fans, Deon'te is actually, if Broadway was still a thing right now, he would be in Hamilton right now playing, which part was it again? I'm sorry, I don't remember. Which part?
For Deon'te?
Yeah.
That I'm not 100% sure on. Let's bring Deon'te on, actually.
All right, Deon'te, we're going to bring you on just for a second, just a taste of Deon'te. Deon'te, who are you in Hamilton?
Hey, so I'm in the ensemble, and I also cover George Washington, Aaron Burr, and Mulligan Madison. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I loved Mulligan. I saw it last night, and it was. Oh. I was ready to hate on it. I was ready to say, "Oh, it can't live up to the hype," but gosh, it's pretty powerful, and I'm so thrilled.
Yeah, it's an incredible the film itself. I mean, those camera angles, those shots, and I mean the show itself is just no matter how many times I've done the show, watching it, you know, from an audience perspective is just always so. It makes me fall in love with the show and just the brilliance of the story. So, you know, I'm very excited that everyone gets to see it. I'm excited that it's so accessible. Yeah, it's a great movement, especially now.
All right, so Deon'te, we're going to hide you again because we don't want to. We're going to bring you back when it's really potent. We'll bring you back in a few minutes with Jennifer and with Patrick. Thanks for coming on for just a sec, though. All right. All right. So this show is not only a great show about a forgotten member of our community, about Bayard Rustin, who, and again, bring people up to speed, because you don't always want to assume that people know who he was, but he was the man who inspired the Freedom Riders. He was the primary architect of the March in '63. He brought nonviolence to the movement. I mean, this is not apocryphal story. This is absolute historical fact. He went to Dr. Martin Luther King one evening, and from dusk to dawn, they argued about how the movement was going to move forward. And at the end of the night, King threw out all his guns. Yeah. And the movement became something so much more potent because of Bayard. He also did small things like bring the peace symbol to America. He was an amazing figure, and he was lost to history, excised from the history books, because he was a gay man, because of who he loved, his identity, and who he was.
Right.
And now things like this bring his name back, and we cannot be more thankful to you for being involved in the energy and spirit of it.
Well, it's just, again, it's his story encompasses so much, and it's like, it was frustrating to learn about this, because I thought, oh my God, this guy really made a difference, and nobody's acknowledging that except for the closest people that were behind him. And when we go through this story, you'll see, the characters that were behind him, a transition who finally got to a point, they were like, we don't care about your personal preference. We just know that you are the man who has the ability to make this happen. And now we're telling that story, so that we're telling this generation, he is the man who was really behind this political movement, and so much more. And we want that, we want people to love him like we do.
We want to give
been exciting.
We want to give a shout out to the writers again, Richard Allen and Taryn Gray. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of theater. Here's the poster. You can see all these incredibly beautiful people involved. So much talent. It could hardly fit in one poster. And again, it's Wednesday, July 8th. This is just a conversation about the show itself. The show is going to be Wednesday, July 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, which is great because it's after the Power Hour. So you watch the Power Hour from 7 to 8 and tune into the show. I believe it's only $10. Is that correct?
Yes. But you can also buy theater passes, because there's 4 shows in altogether of the festival. So you can go to allengray.com and you can see all of that information.
Yeah, there are 3 other shows that are just as wonderful. So go to the website, you'll see, and you can buy a whole package. And by the way, not only is it a fabulous show, not only are the fabulous people involved, but it's for charity as well. So can you talk about that? It's for Broadway for Racial Justice, which is a newer organization, and Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, which has been doing good work for a very, very long time. Yeah. So can you talk about those 2 organizations a bit, and why you chose to benefit them with the performance?
I mean, basically because, Richard and Taryn, they have a passion for both of them. With Broadway for Racial Justice, a personal friend of theirs started that. And so they wanted to come together and say, how do we make a difference and help people in need right now? And I mean, in this pandemic, especially here in New York, we're stuck. And it's been a crazy thing, and it's been a very scary thing because, with Broadway shutting down and that sort of thing. But they just felt a real strong passion, like, what can we do for this? So that's where they came up with creating this theater festival. And they said, let's showcase our work, especially like with Freedom Riders is one of the shows that will be presented as well, in addition with Bayard, and it just couldn't have been better timing for this.
And before I forget, I want to tell you, I love your print in the back. It's fantastic. So we're going to try.
That's our lives right now.
Yeah, right? It is. So Lonnie's going to try to pop on. We see Lonnie.
Yay.
Kind. It's so sad because Lonnie is so handsome.
He is.
And I'm sure he has a lot to say.
Ah, Lonnie.
It's like an animatronic from Disney.
Leigh
It's,
here.
all right, we'll try one more time. Not
Okay.
that we're not enjoying your company, Ryan, but
I just want to say, for Lonnie, it was great co-directing with this because, we had so many different perspectives that came together in one, and we really just said there's such a connection here, for Bayard, not only being Black but as a gay man, he speaks to so many communities in that sense with his example. And that's why it was really important to us to really honor him. And Lonnie had such great perspective coming into it, with his background. And it was a dream team, to be honest with you. It was a really big dream team.
We're so thrilled, and I have to say from our perspective, we got connected just a couple of weeks ago, and we were so thrilled that we could work together, and all of your team was so open to partnering and to supporting each other in this very meaningful way. And and we're thrilled to be a part of this. From supporting Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, and Broadway for Racial Justice. Again, that intersectionality, right, of bringing together these issues that previously we didn't have the vision of thinking about them as connected. And now at this moment, this pivotal moment in our nation's history, we can finally connect these issues and see that we're all related.
All related, and that was the beauty of this piece for me, that, it speaks to many demographics, that's the power of it. And I think that's, Richard and Taryn did such an amazing job in embodying that idea in this piece. So, 2 hours of learning about this man, hopefully if we change one person's mind, we've done an amazing job.
Right. And how did you go? So let's go back. And I don't know if this is in your purview because you're a director, not a producer per se, but the collection of talent that you've accumulated is stunning. So are you familiar with that process? Were you involved with that process?
Well, so the interesting thing is I actually produce as well. So that's my background, is producing, directing. They had already cast the shows because they went to people that they had used previously in other iterations of the shows. So when I got brought on, basically everybody had been cast except for Bayard, except for Julia. And Jennifer Leigh Warren is somebody who I had previously hired in a couple years ago that I was like, my God, she's perfect for this role. We need to get her. And, she was so willing to grace us with her presence in this process. So, I had a tiny little piece of bringing somebody into it. So it was really cool.
So I think I would really love to bring on the actors. Not that you're not a beautiful man yourself, but their whole they are the beautiful people. So if you don't mind, we're going to throw you in the queue for a bit. Bring on our three actors. We have Jennifer Warren with us, Patrick Ortiz, and of course Deon'te Goodman. So we're going to bring them on, and we'll bring you back on a little bit later to talk about things to wrap up. Does that sound good?
Great. Sounds great. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, my friend. All right, so as I promised you, we have Deon'te Goodman, we have Jennifer Warren, and we have Patrick Ortiz. And for the first time, I feel like I am the least beautiful person on your screen. So welcome to the three of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
It's all about the lighting.
I need one of those ring lights. If anybody wants to donate a ring light to the Bayard Rustin Center, let us know. We would love that. So because there are so many of us on your screen, I'll try to direct my questions to each of you rather than you not knowing who should speak next. So Jennifer, let's start with you because you came on first today, and I've been watching you in the queue. You've been dancing. There's so much spirit and energy. How do you feel about this show? What about this show is important to you?
Well, my name is Jennifer Leigh Warren. Jennifer Warren is a exact opposite of me. She's white and tall and whatever. But I was brought on late in the process. Ryan contacted me and sent me the script and asked me if I'd be interested. I was already interested just because of the title, Bayard, because I knew of his story. I knew of his influence on the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his influence on nonviolence, his influence, his influence in organizing, his influence in his skills and talent, and the fact that he, as you said, been excised from history. And I was excited that we were finally going to have a show that would talk about this great man. The fact that the March on Washington was the march, everyone forgets that it was the March on Washington for jobs and freedom. And here we are in 2020, still marching for jobs and freedom. So that's one of the reasons why I was excited to be a part of it, to play the grandmother, Julia, who was a great influence on him, her Quaker upbringing and teaching him about nonviolence, him going off to India and learning about nonviolence, him being a conscious objector. I mean, and the fact that he was never closeted, he was always himself and out there. This is who he was, pure and simple. And that's why I wanted to be a part of it.
That's beautiful. So we're going to ask Patrick and Deon'te the same question. Then, Jennifer, I want to come back to you so we can get people really excited about the show. When we come back to you, you'll tell us a little about your history as a performer, what you've been in, and the things that people might know you from. So we'll come back to you for that.
Okay.
So, Patrick, can you tell us the same thing? What brought you to the show, and why are you excited about being a part of it?
Well, I've known the writers for a while, and I've been working with them on different projects, and so that's how I was brought into this specific project. I'm really excited about this show because the music is absolutely incredible. You know, there's those incredible like power ballads and beautiful harmonies, but then there's also some fun like jams that you can just groove to, and upbeat fun. It's just like a wide array of dynamic music wise, you know what I mean? There's something for everyone. So that's been a fun part. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the music from the show.
I like that. I like, you know how to sell a show. Well done. Well done.
It's not my first time at the rodeo.
And just to remind everybody, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to Deon'te and Patrick and Jennifer Leigh for a few minutes, and then we're going to show you the number that they gave us, again, to wet your whistle and get you excited. But Deon'te, same to you. What brought you to this show, and why are you excited about the message that this show bears?
Yeah, so I started with, as Ryan mentioned, I was part of the concert that happened about a year ago. But I've known Ricky and Taryn for about 3 years now. When I did Freedom Riders with them, and we just sort of like developed a friendship throughout that. And when they showed me one of the first numbers of the show, the very first number in the show, "We Must Resist," I thought two things. I was like, wow, this is so good, and wow, this is so high. But I just like fell in love with their writing style and with the story of who Bayard was. Besides, you know, just like who he was as a person, and I think that. So when Ricky asked me to be a part of the concert, I just sort of jumped at the opportunity because I still think it's so incredibly important. His story speaks to how politicized sexuality and sexual orientation was then and even today. It speaks to who he was as more than just a civil rights activist. It speaks to who he was as a person, as a whole entire person, and that's what I love so much about this story, is that we get to see someone who they quite literally tried to erase from history because of his sexuality, and it had the erasure of the LGBTQIA plus community, and especially Black people in the LGBTQIA plus community, is so, it's real. It happens to this day. And so I'm just excited to be a part of presenting his story to everyone and writing him back in history.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate the efforts of all of y'all. And I want to, I'd be a fool not to seize this opportunity, not only the intersectionality of all our communities, but the intersectionality of now, during this very hour, this power hour we're having, the intersectionality of all your theater folks that are tuning in, because there's a whole bunch of, and our usual power hour audience. So we're bringing together both our peoples. So I want to remind everybody that we also do this power hour every weeknight from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and tune in, please, because we always have these conversations and bring on folks like this talking about these important, meaningful conversations. And for those of you just joining us, there are 3 things I always promise you during the power hour. It will be empowering, it will be entertaining, and it'll be rife with technical difficulties. And speaking of technical difficulties, if I understand correctly, our actors, some of them can't hear each other. So as we're talking, they all can hear me, thankfully, because I'm asking the questions, but I'm not sure how many of them can hear each other. So just know if they mention each other and ask each other a question and they don't answer, it's not because they don't love each other, it's because they can't hear each other. So just so you know that.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring you back to, because we do want to sell the show too. So I want to bring you back, Jennifer Leigh Warren. Tell us some of the things that you have been in that people would know you from, and things that were important for you in your career.
Well, I was the original Crystal in Little Shop of Horrors. I was in the original Broadway production of Big River with the song How Blessed We Are, written for me by Roger Miller. I was in Marie Christine on Broadway. I was in Rent Live last February, the Rent Live that happened, or kind of happened, last February, and various other productions all over. So
when you say
that's what I've done.
Do you mean Little Shop of Horrors off Broadway, like from the back in the day?
The original Little Shop of Horrors. I was in the original Little Shop of Horrors. We started at the WPA. We moved to the Orpheum Theater, where we became a big hit, and so on. Yeah.
I saw
That's
you.
Me.
I saw that show.
Then you saw me. Yeah. I was the little one.
You were incredible.
The page boy wig.
That was one of my favorite shows. Well done. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you for that. I love that. That was wonderful.
Yeah, so come July 8th, come and hear this. Hear these.
Yes,
they can't hear me. These beautiful, beautiful men. Come hear their beautiful voices. Come see them. Come see Deon'te portray Bayard. I mean, it's so weird that they can't even hear me, but yes, July 8th, please.
So Deon'te and Patrick, Jennifer Leigh Warren is saying how incredible Deon'te Goodman and Patrick Ortiz are, and it's the truth. So then we'll go to you, Patrick. Tell us some of your credits and some of the highlights of the things that you've been in that you're really proud of.
Yeah, well, I started my career early. I left college and I did West Side Story on Broadway with the late Arthur Lawrence, who wrote the script, which was incredible to work with him. And then I did West Side Tour. I did Mamma Mia on Broadway. I was able to close the Broadway company. I did We Will Rock You. And most recently, I appeared on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist as the love interest of Alex Newell, a reoccurring character. So it was fun. It was fun working on a TV show and doing a musical. Got to work with a lot of great people like Bernadette Peters, and Mandy Moore was our choreographer. So lots of fun stuff.
So again, crazy. I saw you on Broadway. I saw West Side Story. So now that's 2 out of 3 I've seen. Wow, you guys have some incredible credits. This is going to be an incredible show. Reminding everybody, this is 8 p.m. this Wednesday night. We're selling it. It's 8 p.m. this Wednesday night, Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's only $10 for this show, but you can also get a package. There are 4 shows. They're all equally wonderful. Go to Allen and Gray. The comment section has it for you. Buy your tickets. I know that a lot of our community folks have already bought their tickets. You're really going to enjoy the show, and it's going to be not only entertaining, but it's going to be meaningful. And speaking of meaningful and entertaining, Deon'te, it's your turn. Tell us about some of the incredible stuff you've done.
Oh, well, listen, these two are absolute legends, so I couldn't even compare. But I'm currently doing Hamilton. As
I'm sorry, you're currently doing what? What show?
I'm currently doing Hamilton on Broadway.
Oh, I wish you luck with that. I hope that it succeeds. I know that that show needs a lot of exposure.
Yeah, I hear it's a pretty good skit. They have some good, like, tap dancing numbers and things like that. So we'll see what it does. But yeah, I've been a part of that for about a year and a half now. As I mentioned earlier, playing I'm in the ensemble and the understudy Aaron Burr, Mulligan Madison, and George Washington, and that's just been such an incredible reward for me. And other than that, I've been doing a lot of creating of my own works, trying to, I did a concert here that I was really proud of. In New York, I've been here for about 3 years, doing Freedom Riders, doing new works at Two River Theater in Jersey, just and readings and whatnot. So it's been a very incredible journey. One that I'm so grateful for. So yeah, that's really what it's been.
Well, that's incredible. So you have these 3 cast members, and there's more than a dozen folks in the ensemble, all of whom are incredibly talented people. And you have 2 incredible writers, forgive me, Richard Allen and Turin Gray, 2 great directors in Ryan and Lonnie, just an incredible group of folks putting an incredible show on. And I think that what might be nice now is we showed at the top of the hour, but it deserves to be seen again. I'm going to show the piece that Patrick and Deon'te put together for us for Virtual Pride, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up the conversation and get you guys to sell out just this afternoon. All right, so we'll come back in just a few minutes, talk to all y'all, but we're going to show the clip right now. Thank you all. See you in a few. So here it is. This is the piece that they did for Virtual Pride. This was a world premiere at the time, and we're still thrilled about showing it. So I hope you will enjoy it.
I met you, but I didn't know I met you. And you saw me, but I didn't know you saw me. I'm overwhelmed. I never pictured this would happen, never. The stuff of fairy tales and happy ever afters. And when it comes, it feels so alien and new. I'm half in love and half disoriented by all of you. You took me off guard, you flipped me around. I'm floating in love, asking you for stable ground. I hear you speak, even when you don't make a sound. You're close to me, even when you're not around.
You've got a room in my heart, that's where I think of you. The room, it glows with woods and rose, and the sunbeam throws the rays, and the shadows play. You took me off guard, you flipped me around. I'm floating in love, you can be my stable ground. So hold me close, there's no room for fear. I am safe whenever you're near. I hear close to me, even when you're not around. You took a leap, took a risk on me. Love is around, you set me free, and in you I see. Love is around, the mirrored heart, the counterpart. Love is around, I feel our voice, and fears destroyed. Love is around, is around, is around, is around. Love is around, is around, is around, is around. I met you, but I didn't know. I met you. You saw me, but I didn't know. You saw me.
That is everything. I mean, if you don't want to buy your ticket now, there's nothing else can be said or done. That is just an amazing, beautiful piece. And we're going to bring back the director, Ryan, who helped us get that together for Virtual Pride. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. That song always brings tears to my eyes.
We're going to try to bring Lonnie back on too and see if we have any luck. So handsome, so frozen.
Lonnie, frozen in LA. Oh, man.
I am here in the queue. Oh. I'm alive. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. I hear you.
Good. That song is amazing. Welcome to, well done, Richard.
So I don't know if it's working.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you're in and out. So you were gonna have to trust Lonnie. We're gonna have to trust.
Well, what I want to say,
Ryan.
You have a great here.
Oh man.
Lonnie, do us a favor. Maybe can you type it in the
Clearly,
chat,
Rob.
and we will express. We love you. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm in love with you because you're so handsome, and I wish I could hear more about. You're probably really, really wonderful and compassionate too.
Oh my God, he's the best human being ever. The best. I was blessed.
So tell us, did you have any?
It's not even working in my
I'm so sorry. I feel awful about this.
It's not
Lonnie,
even working.
Come back to us. We love Lonnie.
He's an amazing human being. It's just lovely. But
So can I?
No.
I used to be. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I want to talk about that song for a quick second because when I saw the show, so they did a concert version. I saw that. I got hooked. I was hooked from that point on. A couple months later, they did a full-length version for benefit, and so I really got to hear the book, what the lines and all of that sort of thing. And I met with Richard and Taryn after, and I just said, "Oh my God, let's talk about." There's a love story there, and I was like, "I think there needs to be a duet." And Richard and Taryn, within 4 weeks, I think, in that time, sent me that demo of that song, and I was like, oh my God, this is just brilliant for this piece. It needed to happen, and I think it's so cool that we're showcasing, this relationship besides the political side of what his story is, and it really gives that heartfelt touch to it.
Yeah, and I think that's important, especially with someone like Bayard, who was such, both on the stage of political arena, but also in his personal life, how loving he was and how warm he was, and the stories that his partner Walter Nagel tells about when he would walk down the street and when he would interact with folks, and he was always a member of the community, both uppercase and lowercase c. And I think that's so incredibly important, and it's wonderful that you bring that out in the show, and we appreciate and thank you for it.
Oh, it just gives the different facets of who this man was, you know what I mean? And I think that's so important to say that, especially if you know if you watch the show, you see a history of what he went through and what he was labeled as. And then we went even deeper to say, this man could love and really love. And that's, what we really try to encompass with all of this, with the Paulo character that you'll learn that Patrick plays. It was very, very important to show that.
And we appreciate it. And again, just to remind everybody, we're talking about Bayard, a new musical directed by this wonderful man, Ryan Norton, and his partner in crime for the stage, Lonnie Hughes, who we had on, but unfortunately had some technical difficulties coming up from us from the West Coast. We have 3 of the actors with us, we'll bring on in just a minute. But I want to, again, remind you that you can still buy your tickets for this. It's Wednesday, July 8th, this Wednesday coming up. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And not only is it a wonderful show, not only are we honored to partner with Allen and Gray, but it's a benefit for Broadway for Racial Justice and Broadway Cares After He Fights AIDS. There's no downside here.
There's no downside. And I just want to say this, Rob, too. All of these people on board with this are humanitarians because nobody's getting paid for this. This was literally a labor of love.
Wow.
So, So, I mean, I think that's really important. So any of these proceeds are strictly 100% going to, these charities and organizations. So I think that's really important for the audience to understand. Like Broadway veterans, you heard Jennifer's credits. We also have another gentleman who's in the cast who was playing Hamilton on the tour. So there's a lot of big people that are donating their time for this because of a labor of love.
Well, it's amazing. The cast is amazing. I mean, one of the things that I always have a problem with theater that's meaningful or has a message, it's usually pretty crappy. It's usually like, it's a great message, but it's not good theater. And this is really good theater. And I wouldn't put our name behind it if I didn't think so. So it's only $10 a ticket, and it's even less if you buy tickets. They have 3 other shows as part of the package. It's a wonderful way to spend your Wednesday evening. And again, there's absolutely no downside. It's an entertaining show. It's a beautiful show. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and maybe you'll learn a couple of things too.
And the good thing is when Broadway comes back, hopefully you'll see us on a marquee.
All right. So we're going to bring the cast back, some of the cast back, and Ryan, we'll bring you back just to say goodbye at the tail end of the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. So as promised, we're going to bring back Patrick and Deon'te and Jennifer Leigh Warren. And again, you're looking at an incredible array of talent here. And let me just refresh everybody's memory. Patrick has been on TV, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Jennifer Leigh Warren has incredible credits to her name, and it goes back to Little Shop of Horrors in its first off-Broadway iteration up until some amazing shows of the moment. And our friend Deon'te is in a little show which really needs to be plugged, and we're going to try to support as best we can, called Hamilton. and I hope for the best for you guys, because I know that that's going to be a difficult sell, and I hope that you guys can, when Broadway comes back, that Hamilton will succeed, because I think it's a pretty good little show.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
So we have just a couple minutes left. So Jennifer, you play Deon'te's grandmother in the show.
Julia Rustin. Yes.
And they had an incredible relationship.
Yes. From all that I did. The Quaker upbringing, she knew that he was gay and had no problem with it. She loved him for being him. But I just want to say this one quote that Bayard Rustin had. We are all one, and if we don't know it, we will learn it the hard way. I love that quote. We are all one, and if we don't know it, we will learn it the hard way. I just had to say it.
No, I think that's wonderful. I think that is so apropos of our current moment, because now we're coming together. But 3-4 weeks ago, when the protests and the vigils and the rallies started, that was one of the lessons that quickly became very apparent to people. That the way this was going to succeed was that intersectionality that we could finally embrace and move forward together. I think that we are learning that, and there's still a lot to be learned. What I love about the communities coming together is that people are recognizing it, and recognizing if there's a mistake or if there's someone left behind. All you got to do is reach back and make sure they're coming up with you.
Yes, and tell their stories.
Tell their stories. Yeah, that's our very mission here at the center. And
I say it all the time. Tell your story until they hear you.
So speaking of Patrick, you've been in a lot of projects that have been about telling stories.
Yes.
Being in Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist and playing the love interest of such an extraordinary person.
Yes.
That's an important moment for us to see on television, right?
Yeah, of course. Playing the love interest of Bayard, I think it gives the audience a chance to see that he's human and he's relatable and he's exactly like all of us. He's not this stoic public figure. Like, he makes mistakes. He is promiscuous, so I think my character allows the audience to see that side of him in a beautiful way.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, right? That we see the three-dimensionality of our heroes. So we recognize they're human just as we are. And I think that makes them even more extraordinary. So
Absolutely.
Deon'te, if I may, do you see a parallel between Bayard, A New Musical, and Hamilton in the telling of these stories and recognizing figures that hadn't been spotlighted as well as they should have been?
Wow, it's a good question. I would imagine so. I think that both do such an incredible job of shedding light on a piece of history that we often don't recognize, especially with Bayard. We hear whenever we hear the sort of civil rights activists that people side with, it's either always MLK or Malcolm X. And I think that for a lot of people in the world, me being one of them, there are ideologies of MLK that I can agree with, and some that I'm just like, well, I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. And the same thing with Malcolm X, but I feel like with Bayard, for me, when I started to learn and discover who he was, I sort of found a middle ground, and I was like, oh, this makes sense to me. This makes sense to who I am. This makes sense to, the whole, the idea that we are that he fought for more than just Black people. He fought for more than just gay people. He fought for more than just, he fought injustices, period. And I think that the humanitarian side of him is what sets him apart from both MLK and Malcolm X. He was just treat people with kindness, treat people with love, treat people how you want to be treated. And I think that that's a lot of people in the world today. So I think that it sheds light on a person that I think a lot of people in the world identify with today. And I think that Hamilton does that in a lot of ways, whether it's Hamilton, whether it's Burr, Liza, whomever, you find someone in that story that you're like, oh my God, you make sense to who I am and to what I believe. So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I got that when I was watching Hamilton last night. I really felt that, and it's amazing that you say that it wasn't this laudatory, he was without, his peccadillos and without his failures and weaknesses, as Patrick said. The more we see these folks as three-dimensional human beings like we are, then it's even more extraordinary the work that they did and the service they provided to all of us.
Exactly.
I can't believe our hour's coming to an end. I want to thank the three of you, and please do me a great favor and thank the rest of the cast. I didn't know that you were doing this out of literally the kindness of your heart, and I want our community, our audience, our viewers right now to know this is not an easy time for any of you, right? I mean, you're not able to do. You need a stage to work. And you're being you're being given a virtual stage, and even that, you're not taking anything from that financially. Spiritually, sure. Energy, sure. Good karma, fantastic. But good karma doesn't freaking buy you vegetables at the grocery store. So we want to thank you from us at the Bayard Rustin Center for Social Justice for the service that you're providing. I cannot wait to see this show on Wednesday. And again, everybody, it's Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's only $10 for this show, but you can get a bargain and buy a package of all 4 shows that are part of this festival. And again, not only these actors supporting and donating their time, but the proceeds from this show go to 2 incredible organizations, Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, and Broadway for Racial Justice. Deon'te, Patrick, Jennifer Leigh, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for our first special ever Sunday matinee. I hope that you'll come back to us sometime. Maybe after the show we can have a debriefing and talk about this experience. All of you inspire me, inspire all of us at the center, and our community thanks you. Is there anything that you want to say before we say our goodbyes? And we'll start Deon'te, Jennifer, and then Patrick. How about that? So you don't all start talking at once, or don't talk at all thinking the other one's going to start talking. So Deon'te, you first.
I hope that you all will enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you will enjoy the human beings that these people were, them as an entire human. So, and I hope you can relate. So, love.
Thank you, Deon'te.
And I'll just piggyback on that. I hope you will all come and see the show. Watch on your computers or whatever. Watch the show. And I hope that it helps you in any way. I can't even talk right now. I just love it. Just come and see. Just watch it. I hope that it will help you in any way possible. I will hope that it will inspire you. I hope that it will make you say, wow, I didn't know his story. I didn't know this beautiful man's story. So please join us on the 8th.
Patrick?
Yeah, all of that. And come on the 8th to see Deon'te make me blush from New York, and I'm in LA. I think that's some kind of magic that he can make me blush in New York, and I'm in LA. So a lot of magic, a lot of love, a lot of special things happening in the show.
And the one thing you can do for all these folks that we just talked about, how they're donating their time, when you see their name in a show, go see that show. Go see that show. So if you see Patrick on TV in something like Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist or something else, watch that show. That matters. If you see Jennifer Leigh Warren's name on a playbill, go see that show. Buy a ticket and buy another ticket for a friend. And, of course, Deon'te needs our help most of all with that struggling show, Hamilton. So please go support that as well. We love you all. I cannot wait to see you Wednesday, and I hope that we'll see you again on the Power Hour. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for sharing some of it with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that is part of the cast, only part of the cast of this incredible show, Bayard, a new musical that will be premiering Wednesday, July 8th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, only $10 a ticket, and there are 3 other shows in the festival, so you can get a bargain price for all. And again, it benefits entirely Broadway for Racial Justice and Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. And we'll bring Ryan on just to say good night and goodbye and good afternoon. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Rob,
it's been tremendous.
Thank you so much. And you know what? I just want to give a shout out to Richard and Taryn, the writers of the show, and to say thank you from Lonnie and I for entrusting us with this story. Richard and Taryn brought life into Bayard with this musical. So I hope everybody comes out, watches it. The music is amazing, and the story is beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you, and we so appreciate you allowing us to be of some small service in presenting this. This has been a wonderful way to spend a Sunday afternoon. I can think of no better way to spend Independence Day weekend. This is what America's all about. Gosh, just so you know, we've had a very robust audience watching. So, so we've done our business.
Thank you.
Ryan, I hope to see you again. Be in touch.
Absolutely.
Our community loves you and really appreciate all the work you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good, my friend. So again, Bayard, a new musical, Wednesday, July 8th. That's this Wednesday, right after the Power Hour. Come tune in that night to us at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. to the show. Again, only $10 a ticket. Goes to Broadway for Racial Justice, Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. These incredible cast members. Look at all those beautiful people. And we're not talking about beauty, you know, like appearance-wise, although, gosh, they are very attractive. We're talking about beauty inside. All these folks donating their time and their talent. So support them. Support this show. Go buy a ticket. Go buy a ticket for yourself. Go buy a ticket for a friend. Go buy a ticket for an enemy who will become a friend. Go buy a ticket for your entire family. Have a big viewing party, socially distant with masks on, of course. Keep yourself safe. We love you all. Again, this Power Hour, if you're new to us at the Bayard Rustin Center for Social Justice, we do this every night from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Please join us as well. We have wonderful conversations each and every night. And please follow us at our Facebook page at Rustin Center. We want to do good works for the people, and we're thrilled when we get to partner with good people like Alan and Gray to move that forward. So have a great rest of your day, everybody. Have a great rest of your Independence Day weekend. This was a perfect way to be together. Thank you all for your time today. Be well, be good. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.